Hello, welcome back, Tribesters. Luna and I have a very special presentation for you today. I'm actually going to take a look at Brian Kohberger and the Idaho 4. What happened? And supposedly, Brian's going to be presenting an alibi in open court. Did Brian Kohberger kill those 4 students? Or could have been somebody else? Could have been more than one? Stay tuned. We're going to take a look at that. And a general reminder, everything that I say in the cards, what I see in the cards, are for entertainment purposes only. They are alleged, not fact. It is my opinion and my personal interpretation of the cards. Okay, now let's go ahead and get into the reading. Welcome back. First of all, I'm going to start with some true crime oracles. We're going to find out what Spirit has to say about this whole mess, this whole trial. And because there's a lot of things, a lot of inconsistencies. On one hand, he looks guilty as fucking sin. On the other hand, there's just evidence or lack of that is enough to raise reasonable doubt. Okay, so his phone pinged in the area. Strike against Bryan. But what is for Bryan is no blood in his car, no trace of blood anywhere on the trail he walked or anything. Okay? No blood. No DNA. Okay. The only DNA that they're considering a strike is on the knife sheath. Okay? But it was, what did they call it? Touch DNA? That somebody could have touched Bryan, that touched the sheath. Okay. That's a little bit suspicious right there. The other strike is that they said that the sheath belonged to Bryan. Did it? Apparently it did. But how did somebody else, the perpetrator, if it wasn't Bryan, get that knife sheath? Did they steal it? I really want to dig into this to find out. I'm trying to raise questions for you. Because like I said, on one hand, he looks guilty of sin. On the other hand, there's enough lack of evidence to suggest that maybe he's innocent. Okay. Did he have time to clean up all the DNA? Maybe. But you would think there would have been some kind of trace. Something. Trace of the victim's DNA. On his body, on his person, in his home, in his vehicle. No traces of any of the victim's DNA. Let's kind of get a little bit of an overview of what Spirit says. Okay. Spouse or partner. Operation Mockingbird, government-controlled media. Mockingbird. Homicide. Yeah, it was a homicide. We know that. I almost get the sense that somebody that knew the victims Bryan or otherwise, may have been mocking the perpetrator, the murderer. And I get this sense that there are a lot of emotions involved here. That, wow, that it's like somebody pissed somebody off. Maybe it's the whole group. I'm going to shuffle again. Debt. You know, somebody may have been owed money for something. Justice. Balancing the scale. Somebody had a debt that they owed. Somebody wanted to make it right. The mockingbird could be because, you know, I feel like somebody's ready to squeal on the murderer for something completely different. And it involves somebody very close to one or more of the victims. It could have been a significant other of one of the victims. Or somebody that they may have been dating. But there is some kind of... Okay, there is karmic justice. It is going to be paid for this. Karmic debt. Thank you. But I feel like somebody is being mocked, made fun of, or something like that. I feel like that this was a crime of passion, this homicide. There may have been money involved. Somebody needs to balance the scales. But somebody, if it's not money, somebody owed another person. Maybe it's an apology or something like that. In regards to rumors, accusations, or somebody blowing the whistle on something totally unrelated to these homicides themselves. And somebody's chiming in here. I don't know why it keeps coming up as somebody's at the shed. The only thing I could figure, yeah, I have to check my ring. Because that's unusual. It's like somebody is not supposed to be there. Which there wasn't. Don't worry. But it's almost like I feel Bryan may have been at the wrong place at the wrong time. Okay. I like to pull cards from the bottom of the deck. Caregiver. Beach. Okay. Frozen. Devil energy. Pizzagate. Dating. War. Okay. I'm getting a lot of energy here that there may have been a trip canceled for whatever reason, but there's lies and deception. Lies and deception about where somebody was. Okay. Pizzagate, party. Is Bryan Kohberger going to claim he was out on a date? Why haven't they spoken up sooner if he was? But there's some kind of war. Now, I'm picking up an energy here of jealousy. Partner, spouse is sticking out. It is very loud here. Could Bryan have been overstepping some boundaries and maybe out with somebody? Maybe it was innocent. Out to eat with somebody or something like that caused a war here, and somebody decided to set him up. Interesting. Okay. I definitely feel that somebody was ready to squeal on something as well. Let me see here. Okay. Got distraction and road. The road to the truth, there is definitely some kind of distraction there. Mental health. Yes, for somebody to do something like that, they have to be mentally deranged. Murder, suicide, river, trapped. I feel like the murder happened because somebody was trapped up ship creek without a paddle. Okay. We're going to dig a little bit more into that in a moment. I'm getting to use my owl tarot. I wanted to use this for spirit connection. I am going to do my modified Celtic cross about Bryan Kohberger. Okay. Surrounding this case. Okay. Okay, no, they told me to change gears. Do the murder itself. The truth will come out in the cards. Okay. I forget what zodiac sign Bryan was. Maybe you could comment below and let me know. Okay, let's move these decks out of the way. Okay, that's better. Under the deck, what's going on under the surface? It's boiling. Three of Swords. Page of Swords. Four of Swords. Wow. Three of Cups. Four of Cups. Queen of Swords. Whoa, okay. They said take this too. Queen of Pentacles and Five of Swords. This does sound like conspiracy to me, to be honest. We got two queens here, which would have been a couple of the females that were killed, right? There were four. There was one male, three females. I'm not going through their names. Everybody knows who they are. But it feels very much like, yeah, there's the three females. What is not being told is that the three female victims may have been out partying that night. And it feels like somebody, you know that spouse or partner card that we saw? I'm getting there here. I feel like that was somebody who thought that they could be a partner. The partying and stuff, I'm getting a lot of substances, substance abuse, alcohol, stuff like that. But what I'm getting here is somebody getting rejected. Maybe hitting on one of the girls, crashed and burned. Because there's the Three of Swords there, which is like a little bit of heartbreak and rejection. Page of Swords is communicating. You know, one of the girls may have had to get really sharp with whoever it was that was getting rejected. And they did it in a very stern way. And what happened is, as a result of somebody's pride being really injured, okay, somebody was watching and waiting for an opportunity to strike. They were watching and they were waiting. Okay. And whatever it was, I'm not so sure that murder was the plan. Okay. Not a quadruple murder. Not a quadruple murder. And the plan that they enacted went very, very wrong. 4 of Cups, 4 people. There's the 1 cup that's up here. Whoever it was only expecting to encounter 1 person. Okay? That was their goal. Their aim was at 1 person. The person that bruised their ego, that rejected them. And it was one of the 3 girls. Okay? And with that 3 of Cups, had to do with a party scene. Okay? Now we have the Queen of Swords and the King of Pentacles and Queen of Swords. There's a couple here. You know, I was talking about the spouse and partner. Then we have the 5 of Swords. A lot of dishonesty, backstabbing. Somebody throwing in the towel, or somebody, there seems to be a sabotage here. Winning by unfair means. Something was very unfair. Of course, it was unfair when 4 people lost their lives. No one should have lost their lives that night. But I'm picking up a very strong energy. And you know, when I was talking about jealousy and somebody blowing the whistle on somebody else, this is what we're talking about, folks. We're talking about, I think, an argument that broke out between the murderer and one of the victims, the victim that did the rejecting, and their anger was aimed at that person. The 4 come into play because maybe one of the victims said, I'm going to go tell your wife, or I'm going to tell your girlfriend if you don't leave us alone. Type of energy, type of vibe. And somebody saying, oh no, because it's going to put me in debt. We saw the debt card, we saw the justice card. I cannot have any more legal problems. Okay? So somebody was trying to stay out of trouble. But I don't think murder was the initial intention. But there was something was fueled by anger. Okay. Oh, King of Cups. This is coming up as the question or the person involved. The murderer, King of Cups. Well, it could be Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, but this is talking about a very emotional person. I'm feeling like this person may have been over emotional, may not have their emotions in control. And then we have situation, the sun. The situation, there's going to be illumination on this case. But I'm feeling like, you know, it was good times. Everybody was happy in the household. Nobody suspected anything. 3 of Pentacles. It's kind of working together. Now, which brings me up another issue. The murderer, how did he commit all those murders between 3 floors? You know, without somebody calling 911. Why did it take so long for the police to be called and all that? There was some kind of cooperation going on to pull this off. Okay, let's get to the rest of the cards. We have Temperance, Ace of Swords. What's going on in a week from now? This is August 14th. Is this 14th? 15th. August 15th. This is Tuesday. What's going on in a week? I'm just curious. Then we have the Lovers. I'm telling you, there was some kind of emotional attachment, some kind of rejection. Nine of Swords, somebody got out of control, a situation got out of control. Yes. Hermit. Six of Pentacles. Nine of Cups. Two of Wands. I'm seeing hung jury here. I really am. I don't need the hangman to see that. Okay, now, okay. Ten of Cups. Six of Cups. Two of Pentacles. Okay. I get a lot of duality here. And I am willing to bet that the perpetrator did not act alone. There was some kind of cooperation. I am, like I said, I am seeing the hung jury. But what I'm seeing here, a lot of emotional satisfaction and happiness within the home. You know, within the friends. A lot of cooperation. But the whole scenario, it was a very emotional crime. And like I said, geared towards one person. Unfortunately, there were 4 people that got whacked. And I don't think that was the intention. I'm not convinced that even murdering the one person was actually part of the plan. But something in the plan went wrong. Very wrong. Spirit is saying, give it time. Give it time and patience. Temperance card. This is almost like, I see the sun coming up again. Reference to the sun in this card. The element of fire is represented here. Fire and water create steam. They're telling me this was a crime of passion. A crime of passion. And I was kind of like saying, it's this way. It's this way. It's like directing. Look here. Look here. And how did they get to this point is trying to uncover truth. New information being brought forth. The defense is bringing forth new information that is going to involve a couple. It's going to involve I think they're going to present a crime of passion. Okay? But with all the evidence, he's very intelligent here. Highly intelligent. He's definitely got some good counsel, good attorneys on his side. The environment seems to be divided. Six of Pentacles, giving and receiving. It's kind of like an even give and take. It's also bringing about balance and cooperation in the 3D world. It's handing a gift. It's almost like, he said he was coming up with his alibi. He's handing in his alibi. And the alibi, whatever it's going to be, is going to appear very balanced, very realistic. And that's what's good. This is going to blow this case up. It's going to blow it up. Um, you know, definitely the Nine of Cups is generally wish fulfillment. And it's falling in, I would say, the Bryan's case. Everything lining up. The defense definitely wants to see everything line up. They're trying to line everything up. And I'm seeing a timeline. I'm seeing a timeline that they're going to present here. Potential outcome of this whole thing of Brian Kohberger's trial. First time around, we have the Two of Wands. There is a certain sense of planning. They're planning for the trial now. Certain sense of expectations, but no decision. This is nobody. They're not coming to a decision. I feel they're not coming to a decision. They're kind of like at a crossroads. When I was commenting on these, this is definitely soul bond energy, karmic energy, but I want to say whoever got rejected had some kind of connection to, probably from school, some kind of connection, and they thought they were, I almost want to say that whoever said no to the murderer may have actually literally been on dates, and I'm getting the sense that this is involving one of the girls. I don't know which one, but it kind of gave a false impression. And that's why the murderer's ego was so wounded. And I have another question here, and I'm going to do some other clarifiers. I keep seeing 3s. There's 4 here that were murdered, right? 3. It's like the emphasis are on the girls. And the male that was killed, murdered, was at the wrong place at the wrong time. I knew that was going to come up somewhere. I would really love to know where Bryan falls into all this, but it shows a hung jury. Tell me more about this love connection. I kind of want to know if it's leading to some kind of fast action here, or has led to some kind of fast action. Somebody reacted to rejection. Eight of Swords. Queen of Wands. Nine of Swords, Knight of Pentacles. Almost reminds me of a military man right here. Somebody's supposed to be honest and stable. Okay, what I'm getting here is that in the beginning, the murderer felt safe to one of the victims. Felt safe, thought that he could be trustworthy. But something in there kind of, maybe it was her intuition, but something there was really bothering her about the situation. And she got to a place where I really don't want to be in this. And The Queen of Wands is quite often is my other woman card. Sometimes it's not always the other woman, but most of the time it is. And I'm going to read it as such as well. It's almost like something got told that the murderer had a commitment elsewhere, putting this one girl, one of the victims, into a third-party relationship. And she struggled with this and probably told the perpetrator, no, I'm not going there, I'm not doing that. His ego was wounded. And there's a little sense of entrapment here. How do I get out of this? There might have been some threats go on, especially with this Knight of Swords. And maybe she did not think, because she thought she knew this person, that they would actually carry it out. It's almost like she said it was kind of like, okay, he's angry, he'll calm down. She didn't take the threat seriously. That's interesting. Something about Maddie. Almost like and Zaina. One of them, it's like I feel like Maddie's the one that like kind of said, you know what, go away. You heard her. She does not want to date you, does not want anything else to do with you. I know your wife or I know your girlfriend. There's something about that here as well. I'm wondering about temperance. It's like everything's gonna be okay. It's almost like healing. It's gonna take some time to sort this out. Show me temperance. Show me this temperance energy. Four of Wands in the home. It's like the home was peaceful. The Hierophant. Uh-huh. Five of Swords again. Okay. The Hierophant came into the home on false pretenses. The Hierophant to me is talking to me about somebody in power or married or committed man. I'm telling you, this is what I feel. Bryan Kohberger was not in any kind of relationship. He wasn't married. He wasn't in a relationship. My cards are saying that the murderer was married or in a higher level. In angelic terms, they were married. Whether they were married legally in the 3D, that's yet to, I'm not positive. But my cards are saying the murderer was attached to somebody else and flirtatious with one of the girls, got crashed and burned. I do feel that there may have been one or two dates between them. It got cut off. The girls go out, have a good time. One of them, Zaina or somebody, meets up with the perpetrator. While they're out, there's a discussion or argument. And and the watching and waiting just kind of feels like to me it was that night. I feel very much that this was a crime of passion that happened spontaneously, was not planned out ahead of time. This was not premeditated. Not at all. Not what I'm getting. Really feel this was a crime of passion. I'm surprised a crime of passion didn't come out in my Oracle deck. I want to know a little bit about this truth here. Okay. They want me to go with this deck. I was going to get the other deck. Well, let's see. Intuitively, I reached for this one. Show me, probably because this is wisdom. Queen of Cups. Got the Queen and King both here. King of Wands. Six of Swords. Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is coming up a lot. Somebody felt trapped in a situation that they could not get out of. That could be the relationship. We got a couple kings here. Makes me think, again, there was cooperation. There were two people involved in this. There were two people involved. And somebody's looking at it and saying, the King of Wands is looking at the Queen of Cups and saying, you know, I gotcha. And they are literally getting away with murder. Somebody is going to getting away with murder right now. I want to know about this Three of Pentacles, this cooperation. Show me the Three of Pentacles, please. King of Cups for a third time. The Hermit. Hermit. I'm relating that back to Bryan. Six of Pentacles, monetary exchanges. Four of Cups. Wow. Got the Four of Cups here twice. There's a rejection here too. Rejection of money. There's an exchange here in the environment. Rejection of money. I think Bryan Kohberger was being offered, hey, you go do this for me. Here's what I'm willing to pay for you to commit this crime. But this would be saying Bryan rejected the monetary offer. Or somebody did. So is he being framed? That would be a perfect reason for framing. But I'm not saying that, but somebody would have got a rejection of an offer here. But that's where he has some involvement and he had knowledge of what was going down. And that is what's going to come out. That's what's going to come out. Is all this fabricated on Bryan's part? Is all this fabricated? Queen of Wands. Again, this is Eight of Pentacles. Two of Cups. The Hierophant. Got that married man again. I don't think it's going to be fabricated. I don't think Bryan did the dirty deed. Let me say that now. He had some, excuse me, Bryan had some involvement. I don't think he is 100% innocent. He had some sort of involvement. If Bryan did any of the murders, he did not act alone. There's monetary exchanges, but show a rejection of the agreement. I'm not accepting this agreement. I'm not accepting this contract. No. But whoever it was being very smart, but I think Bryan's smarter. So I think that's what's going to be Bryan's story. That's what's going to be his story. Let's get out another tarot deck. And let's ask, because I feel this is how everything's going to play out and come out. I want to know if this is truth or fiction. I am seeing a hung jury here. I am seeing a hung jury, which would mean a retrial. Okay? But I'm really feeling like I just cannot shake the fact that there was no one's DNA in Bryan's car. That's why I don't even think he was in the house. He may have had the getaway car. Kind of what I'm feeling. He was driving the getaway car. But there was something, there was somebody who had been in the house and knows something. And I don't want to do any kind of disrespect to victims or the survivors, because that is a traumatic experience. By the way, this whole reading is alleged purposes only. I forgot to mention this. These are just my opinion. Oh, I could put that at the beginning of the video. That's right. I got to edit anyhow. I'll just insert it. Okay. Problem solved there. But anyhow, I just cannot. I think that he may have. I think he had knowledge. Hermit here twice is knowledge. He had knowledge of what was going on. But did he know that there was going to be a quadruple murder? I don't think he did. I feel like there might have been a confrontation planned. Bryan, I need you to drive me. I need to talk to them about this. Okay, Knight of Wands, Ace of Swords, Page of Cups coming out here. The truth is going to come out about what really went on that night. He did a lot of thinking about this truth. But with the Ace of Swords here, that is the Ace of Truth. Okay? The Sword of Truth. The Knight of Wands is somebody who acts hastily. It could also be the mode of transportation. The Page of Cups could be the communication. King of Pentacles coming up again. Kind of indicating that, again, this is like a family man or something like that. But I feel like the King of Pentacles wanted to talk to the girls. I'll say girl, one of the girls. And something got out of hand. Okay? It's like Bryan's energy is saying, I was the mode of transportation. I didn't know what the rule plan was. Did he know? Magician. Acting. Some of what Bryan is going to say is not 100% truth. We got the Temperance card. Two of Swords. He's going to play dumb. He's going to be like, I don't know anything that went on. I did not know of this plan. I think he knew something. And this is something he's been keeping to himself. Four of Cups again. More Ace of Wands. Ace of Pentacles. Ten of Swords. There was an idea here. I'm going to say this again. The cards are repeating. There was an idea here, an exchange of money to kill somebody. I'm telling you, this was a murder for hire that got rejected. And the murderer actually did it himself and involved Bryan. And the way I'm feeling that this offer went down was kind of like, you know, Bryan, I can't afford any more legal issues. Because, as you know, in the Oracle deck, we saw the Justice, and I told you I got that energy of, I don't need any more trouble. I don't need any more legal issues. You know, somebody wanted to keep their hands clean of it. And I think that it's somebody that Bryan knows that would explain how the touch DNA got in there. And if Bryan had his knife in the car, the perpetrator could have taken the knife and left the sheath on purpose to frame Bryan. Because I couldn't see Bryan purposely leaving his knife sheath in the house. But not with this level of intelligence that I'm seeing here. But anyhow, this was a crime of passion, jealousy, feeling rejected, that somebody acted impulsively, like kind of crazed out of their mind. But it was presented to Bryan, and Bryan rejected the idea. And he says, I'll pay you to do this. And Bryan said no. And the guy says, okay. He says, and the murderer says, well, I can't do this myself. He says, I need to go over there and talk to her and talk to the couple girls. And I'm feeling that it was more than one. And one of them was probably threatening, you know, to tell the wife, spouse, partner of the murderer. And I think he presented it to Bryan as, I want to go over there. I want to talk to them. I want to apologize. Page of Cups. And try to make peace. We got Temperance here. I want to make peace with them, with her. But he had ulterior motives. The murderer did. With the magician. Maybe Bryan really did not know what was going to go down. But he played a part in it because no, he was not the getaway car, because there would have been DNA in his car. Something about transportation is here, though. Maybe he dropped the perpetrator off and then he left, and that would explain why his phone pinged near the residence, near the house. I know that I am going to be one of the few people. There's a couple of us out there that doubt whether Bryan was the real murderer or not. He played a part. Question is, did he know it or not? He may have had a little bit of knowledge or suspicion. Like, for instance, he may not have thought that the murder was going to go down that night, but he can't escape the fact that there was an offer to him to pay him money to do the murder. So he had to have known that if he didn't do the murder, the person that was planning on it, that asked him about it, had a plan that they wanted to carry out. But maybe Bryan didn't think it was going to happen that night. Just saying. To me, it's looking like a clusterfuck of a case, by the way. But it's also looking to me like Bryan Kohberger was in the wrong place at the wrong time. He should never have picked that person up if this is what happened. She never picked them up. Alleged purposes only. Allegedly. If he wouldn't have picked that person up and dropped them off at the house, his phone wouldn't have pinged there, right? So there's an opportunity here, and he got framed. And I'm trying to figure out why the police are so gung-ho on railroading him. Save that for later, if I need it. Why are the police so gung-ho on railroading Bryan? Legal proceedings. Yep. It's got. Well, they're just saying it's going to come out in the legal proceedings. Hidden. Secret weapon. Underwater. This is like, there are definitely secrets involved with law enforcement here. Could the real murderer be a relative of somebody in government or law enforcement? We got cover up. Yepers. There we go. Hierophant's here a couple times also. Kind of indicating that another individual high in power is orchestrating it. We got evil. Yep, we got some evil going on. Absolutely. Healing. I saw that before with that temperance. And Spirit definitely wants people to heal from this. It's an outside job. Yep. And, okay. Spirit's saying Bryan was outside of the residence. He did not go inside. He was outside the residence down the road. Almost feels like he was parked down the road, down the street from the residence. He dropped somebody off and he was down the street from there. Wow, is this a cover? Well, this says cover up. Okay. Tell me more about this cover up. Tell me more about this cover up. Tell me more about the cover up. 6 of Wands. Somebody on a high horse? Somebody feels very confident about the cover up. Okay. 9 of Cups are almost celebrating ahead of time. So who, that's on the prosecution side, and they think they've got this sealed. They think that Bryan's going to take the fall for this. 10 of Pentacles, there's a lot of money involved. Hell of a lot of money. And power. So there is somebody in power. And they don't want to lose it. Somebody does not want to lose their power, does not want to lose their family. Okay? And I feel like it's a younger person. It's almost like the son of somebody high up in power. Wow. Let's see if these cards have anything to add to all of this. See if they have anything to add about the murder or the murderer. I got a lot of cards out here, honey. A lot. I know you can't see my whole spread up here, but I held up the cards, right? It's just my camera angle, and I do apologize. I want it to be where you can really see me in the cards. At least hold them up, and you can see I'm laying them out. Okay, can you give me any other last bit of information about the real murderer? A closer observation of the victim's living space may provide clues. I thought this too. Something about the living space. But the house is gone, isn't it? Did they tear it down already? I think they did. How are they going to find any evidence now? But there was evidence at the crime scene that was overlooked. That was overlooked, swept under the carpet, that was covered up. Okay? There was evidence that was covered up. Social media will provide valuable clues. Look, how close did they look at the social media accounts of the victims? People. This feels like somebody that was connected to school with them. Okay. Fellow students that may have interacted with the girls. Their social media accounts. There's something there about social media. Money may be involved. What did I say? Yeah. Yeah, there's power. There's money. There's a cover up here. People are paid off. Yeah, there's money involved. Argument or fight is a strong factor. And I already said that too. I said that there was an argument that went on. ASMA. Asthma. Somebody had asthma. Holy shit! The murderer has asthma. Wow. I mean, you pronounce that out. ASMA. Asthma. That's a clue. Maybe there was an inhaler left or something of the murderer, but the murderer has asthma. Wow. Wow, what the cards are revealing. So my conclusion is Bryan didn't slash the throats. And he probably saw what a bloody fucking mess the murderer was and said, oh, you ain't getting in my car. Mm-mm. Maybe he didn't see the murderer at all. I don't know. Asthma. Okay, I'm leaving those together. Let's see if there's anything else. Killer may have items belonging to the victim. Kind of like a souvenir. Details leading up to the murder may be worth investigating. I'm telling you, my cards are on it. I'm telling you, there was something before the murders happened that is emotionally charged. Rejection. The murder weapon used will provide valuable clues. Do they have the murder weapon? Victim engaged in unusual behaviors prior to the crime. There's a lot of details coming out. Dating history. The killer knew the victim. Dating history. What did I fucking say? Dating history. Okay. I am going to leave things there for right now. I will keep up with this and do another check-in. I think this video is getting long enough. I hope I didn't bore you. But, I mean, the details here are, oh my God, mind-blowing. Okay. I'm done. Thank you for watching. And stay tuned for follow-up videos on this. I love each and every one of you. And I will see you next time.